Listen, man, y'all. This your boy OT down there, man. They call me OT because I like to talk about the odd topics. The stuff people don't talk about out loud. Not me. Big Virgo vibes. We're gonna get into some of the stuff. And today's topic is explaining why there's not enough graves in the United States to account for all the people who have passed since the founding. We're gonna get into some different scenarios, and then I'm gonna break it down by the number so y'all can actually see what y'all eating. Because a lot of people in denial. They don't want to face the fact because they scared they're gonna vomit. But we finna keep it real 100, and I'm pretty sure this might get me kicked off the app for the fourth time. But it's okay. Because with all due respect, I want to say, fuck the algorithm. We control it all. Sorry for the language. But anyway, we got to get into this, y'all. I'm finna break it down for y'all. In today's episode, I'm gonna call it Got Me Effed Up. Because a lot of people, about 60K on the last video, got to comment. And they understood exactly what I was saying, but it was a few of them here and there. They tried to say cremation, blah, 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 etc. I'm gonna show y'all by the numbers. Get my smart glasses on. And I'm telling y'all right now, if you don't like the weird stuff, if you don't like strange topics, if you don't like uncomfortable topics, this ain't for you. As what they say, what the girl say, this ain't for you, boo boo. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Don't you ever for a second get to thinking. Yeah, that song. Man, let's get to this right quick. So, I asked Chat GPT, the one all y'all trust for some weird reason. But I asked him because I want statistical facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. I asked him, according to the data, how many deaths have there been in the United States since its foundation? Use the actual year by year data to get the total. The total came out to 631 million deaths. Here's the proof. Check it out for yourself. Next, I told Chat GPT, using year by year actual statistics, tell me how many cremations there have been since the foundation of the United States of America. And it gave me 44 million since 1876. Y'all excuse me talking all proper because that's my teacher's voice. But anyway, back to it. Let's get back to it. Next, I asked Chat GPT, subtract the grand total of cremations from the grand total of deaths since the foundation of the United States of America. So it subtracted 44 million cremations since 1876 from 631 million deaths. That's up till this day. And it gave me a remaining amount of 587 million people. Y'all starting to see right now. The math ain't mathing. As they say, the math ain't mathing. Stick with me, because it's going to get deeper. And it's going to get disgusting. Then I said, chat, how many graveyards have there been accounted for since the foundation of the USA? It said 144,000 documented cemeteries and graveyards. And it also said there might be 150,000 more informal burial grounds that aren't accounted for. Y'all starting to see why some of y'all houses got bad energy. Hauntings. Ooh, some of the truth starting to leak out, starting to drip out. And I can feel the energy. I can feel the energy. Listen. Next, I said divide 587 million accounted for deaths by the 144,000 graveyards and tell me how many graves would each graveyard average. Each graveyard would average on the low side around about 4,000 graves. Y'all know and I know. The majority of the graveyards in the United States do not average anywhere near 4,000. I know that's real vague, but I'm gonna break it down some more. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just. Next, I said, chat. How many graves does the average cemetery hold in the USA? And use the real numbers to get the average. It says some have a higher amount, but using the real numbers, the average is almost 2,000. Do y'all hear what I just said? The numbers of death would have to be 4,000 per cemetery. But ChatGPT just told me the actual average is 2,000. We have about 2,000 accounted for, y'all. It's just accounted for. We got 2,000 accounted for people missing from each and every cemetery. Y'all still gonna keep being hard headed, huh? I ain't gonna say that. Now, here go the good part. Here go the good part. Some of y'all finna start dumping out your refrigerator. Listen, okay, how much meat is globally processed in the USA by year? It says the US process 107 billion pounds a year of meat. Sound like a lot, don't it? But that's 225 pounds per person a year, right? So you take 225 pounds per person a year and you divide that by 365 days, which a year is, and it says each American eats about 0.62 pounds of, or which equals 10 ounces of meat per day. Y'all know and I know Americans eat way more than 10 ounces of meat per day. It's infants out here that eat more than 10 ounces of meat per day. So now you start asking yourself, where's all the extra meat coming from? Next, I said, chat, even though it isn't legal, if human meat was packaged, what group would it fall under? Chat said, hypothetically, for intellectual purposes only, with like a warning, it would be red meat, biologically identical to pork due to muscle structure and fat distribution that resembles pigs. Which type of meat is most often used as an additive? It gave me a result of pork. So now, y'all do the math. Each household in the United States is consuming around about 5 pounds of meat per day. The statistics say the United States is only globally producing zero point 0.6 ounces per day. Are y'all starting to get it? There are 2,000 missing people per graveyard. Now here go the icing on the cake. Next, I said, chat, produce a grand total using as much statistical data as possible. Give me a rough estimate of how many unaccounted for deaths have occurred in the United States since its founding that were unregistered, and by using the knowledge of immigration and missing people and etc. The answer ChatGPT gave me was there are between 12 million to 26 million unaccounted for or unregistered deaths in the United States of America. Do y'all hear me? Listen what I just said. We are missing 2,000 people per graveyard. On top of the 2,000 people per graveyard that we are missing, there's another 26 million unaccounted for and unregistered deaths in the United States. Where the extra meat coming from? You know the old saying, you are what you eat. It don't get no clearer than that.